They narrowly just beat them there. Now you've got to go to the best of the maps left for them. So in theory, they're going to have their best chance to fight back. And then you're going to get a chance on the third one, which is kind of in the middle, yeah.
So you're still confident that NIP will take this?
Yeah, I mean, even in that game there, very impressive stuff by LGB. But I have to say, I still saw moments from NIP where it wasn't that they totally collapsed. It wasn't like the Universal Soldiers loss to Recursive, okay? What we actually saw there was a period where, I think it was around like 12-12 or so, NIP started to fight back. They started to push back. Yep. They were taking a few rounds. And at the very end there, basically the last round, it's anticlimactic because they only had pistols. Yep. The round before that, they could have gone to overtime there. There was chances there. Okay, they rallied again themselves, the underdogs, and they took them up. It was 16-14, remember. It's not like they blew NIP out, and it's like, wow, what will NIP do? And then they're going to lose on them. We don't know that yet. Yep. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It was a cool win, but
they did come back. They did come back from a huge deficit.
That was big, yeah.
We have loaded a highlight clip here from the first map.
So this was actually the last round. Now, they only had pistols, okay, but he does a bit of what they used to get in Sweden called lotto spray, just like, and he wins the lottery, what do you know? Yeah. So he gets all the kills, and it was pretty much over at that point. They didn't even have guns, unfortunately.
That was the nail,
but I saw several big plays by Olaf during
he was good.
And
we're going to see.
Here he comes again.
And so NIP in commanding performance at the moment. Yeah, just a very nice spray. Headshot on the second one as well, so he controls it and pulls up. Hard to do.
And it's also Get Right and Forest.
Yeah,
We're teaming up against him, and he takes
If Get Right and
down.
Forest are both spraying at a tiny little area like that, and you're running into it, usually you die in that situation. So I think there was a little bit of fortune coupled with the great play. That's what you're seeing at the moment. But I thought good play by some of the NIP players. It's not like they've completely fallen apart. I think they can mentally reset, you know.
Gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
Has Get Right ever been naded and knifed on the same map?
Oh, I'm sure he has. First of all, when it's Get Right, because his whole style is to creep around behind you and shoot you, and it's so annoying. If you get the chance to knife Get Right and you get to go behind him, you do it, okay? You just do. He's the guy you want to knife. And he's the guy you want to mess with his head like that. Like,
can we get a highlight clip of that while we're talking?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because first he got knifed and then he got naded. And he did have a good half, though.
Yeah.
But still, what do you think about the way that LGB played their terrorist half? I thought they were really composed in the way they were approaching the map, and they were also very solid to watch out on all their flanks.
The key for me was the fact that when it pushed back, they didn't collapse. Because what was happening was, when you're in that type of a scenario, okay, you're winning rounds, it's almost like a dream scenario, like, it's working, just keep doing it, guys, keep doing it. But then if suddenly you lose like 3 in a row, it's like, wait a minute, what's our go-to strat again? Like, oh no, they're supposed to win here. Like, the thing with the NIP thing was, I didn't even necessarily feel like anyone in NIP played bad. They played good, but they didn't play good together. Like, if Flaren would have a good round, then he'd mess it up next time. Forrest does something awesome here, but they can't finish the round out, you know what I mean? They were out of sync in that sense. So that's why I think it's going to be very competitive.
We're talking a lot about LGB here, but I think we have a highlight clip from NIP.
Okay. I mean, we can already see this is going to be nice. So, okay. Second one's like, okay, he's dead now. I'll just wait for him to pause a second so he can reset that spray. I think...
3.
Okay. Pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good. There was Exist there. He had another round earlier as well where he diffused. That was very nice, where he came back and retook the site. See what I mean? Everyone on the whole team actually on NIP had their moments. It's never at the same time though, whereas the LGB team, they were in sync. Some of the rounds they lost, NIP won convincingly. The rounds they won, they were just going all the. It wasn't that close, you know.
This was definitely the match of the tournament so far for me. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
The other times, you know, we saw the big comebacks and stuff. Either the better team just closed it at the last minute, or it was a scenario like Universal Soldiers or Navi or something, like total collapse, mistake, total collapse. So then it's like, yeah, the underdog won, but you won because the better team played worse as well. They met you in the middle. And so your level went up, their level went down. This was like, NIP's level was pretty high. It was like a 7. It was an 8 out of 10 on the NIP scale. And LGB came up, they were 6, 7, and they matched them.
Well, and
they
definitely,
won.
and when they were going back and forth, like we were talking about, we're going to go to overtime. And we were joking about we're going to have 8 overtimes. This is going so back and forth. And it didn't happen, but
and that shows a lot of professional fortitude on the part of LGB, because like you touched upon, they're playing the greatest team ever. And it's easy when you get that momentum, you're winning around, but once the greatest team starts punching you back in the face, to use your analogy, the plan tends to go out the window. But the LGB players, they just kept on cooking and got more and more rounds.
Had that have gone to overtime, I think actually the favor would have gone back to NIP, because they'd have escaped the loss like that, where, we were going to lose. And then it's like, wait a minute, we worked all that, we won all these rounds against Nip, like we were doing, everything was working, and now it's like reset again. Like, I think like that almost worked out perfectly for LGB there.
Yeah.
Even though it's so close, almost perfect, you know. So now we go into train. Now listen, I could have said before that there's a chance Nip would lose on Dust 2. I still would have predicted Nip because they're so good. Even a weak map for them is a strong map compared to other people, you know. But train, this is a very strong map. And plus, we haven't seen LGB on it, so we don't know quite how strong they are. I think it's one of the maps they don't usually play. Their best two maps are Dust 2 and Inferno. So even history, even the other maps are telling us it's not necessarily one of their best. So listen, if they win in 2 maps here, that's gangster. Like
that's gangster.
Yeah.
Well, and again, obviously, you know, they've got this momentum and they're very excited, so that they need to keep that going.
Yeah, doesn't that feeling sort of creep up on you? Okay, they won Dust 2. They're riding that high now into the short break. We're going to come back to train in a few minutes where they start a CT. And if they can get that pistol round, what's going to happen?
They're going to be all smiles for sure.
Yep.
I mean, but again, like you can never count Nip out.
No.
I mean, you just can't.
I think we have another highlight clip here coming up shortly. No, it's not ready.
Oh, they're working on one. It sounds
They're
like a
working
special
on one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From your numbers, how often does NIP lose on train?
Okay, on train, they've lost 4 times ever, but they've only played it 43 times. Now that sounds like, only 43? Just the 43 there? Yeah, but compared to some maps, they played Nuke 73 times. So there's an example, and that's a really good map for them. They've played other maps like 60 times. So you can see people avoid train. In fact, in the early days when no one could beat Nip, they had the 87-0 run. When you played them on train, they were ridiculous. They used to just win on CT side.
Yeah.
What makes Nip a beast team, okay, is you talk about CT-sided teams, T-sided teams. They're godlike on CT side, and then they're also one of the best T-sided teams. So that's why on a map like Train, it's just game over already. They put up their mods to CT half, and then you're like, okay, reset, we get our chance on CT, and then they're just like knockout immediately. You don't even get a chance, you know. You're like, I took your, but no.
Yeah. So needless to say, though, if they do, I mean, obviously...
This will be the upset of the century in CSGO.
This will be insane.
Even more so than Mystic winning over Very Games, who were the countrymen. Nostalgia winning over Navi, who were a bit suspect. Were they actually that good? Their lineup actually broke up after that. This would be, even if they don't go on to win, let's say they win this series somehow, they don't go on to win DreamHack, Very Games wins DreamHack, this would still be the result of the tournament, you know, it really would be.
We're going to take a look at another highlight clip here. Yeah, this is actually the NIP Universal Soldier group play matches.
Remember this? This was the one where Neo messed up?
Yep.
This is just what Forrest does. It looked like he just, I didn't even fire a bullet there. Oh, I fired it earlier. It was in his head, first bullet.
Very convincing win over the US team. This is Get Right going off on one of his 1v3 attempts, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is unreal control. He's not even spraying there. He's killing them within the first 3 bullets. And then this is the dual brighter.
Dooley's OP.
I think it's the second one that's the craziest headshot, because he just headshots and then moves back. Yeah. Like, he wasn't even going to wait for the second bullet. He's like, I got him with that one. I'm going back.
All right. You talked about how many matches NIP has lost on train. The number was 4, so they lose once every 10 times they play the map.
Yeah, sure.
Who's actually beaten them? And what was the scores?
I don't actually have that stats on me. Okay. I think, from what I remember, I don't think it was. I don't think they've ever played it against Very Games. I don't think it was actually that, because they've only ever played Very Games twice on Train, and that was very early. And because, like I say, early on, Nip not only killed everyone on every map, but on Train especially, they were dominant. Very Games have always veered away from that, and they don't play Train anyway. So if I had to guess, I think one of them was Navi, the old Navi lineup with Edward and Marklov. That was where they came second at Star Series, Star Ladder. I think it was number 6, perhaps. And that was the one where they won a couple of maps, but then Nip killed them on Nuke. So I'm pretty sure Navi took one. If I had to guess, let's see who else would it... Well, Virtus Pro must have done it, I assume, one of the teams. I'd probably say the one at EMS Summer, where then Virtus Pro went to the final and lost to Very Games. So there's 2. Let me think, who else would they be? I guess the others are online. So actually, maybe Very Games did it online. Yeah. And then what would
online
the 4th
doesn't
one
count.
be? Yeah,
so,
that's the thing. Usually I don't count that. But for Nip, the wealth of stats was so crazy. Even online, they've only lost 4 times, including LAN. That's how good they are on this map, you know.
Yeah, okay. We're going to revisit a topic that we did not get to discuss before the match went live. The players are not ready yet, so we're going to... what do you think about this whole Swedish scene? Because it always seems like, and I'm Norwegian, I used to be a professional player, and I used to hate the Swedes because they were always better than us.
Jealousy.
And every time you would beat a Swedish team, there would be another Swedish team coming from out of nowhere. One of my best examples of that was during one of my final years. In 2005, 2004 and 2005, I was playing Catch Gamer. We used to practice against this team called Embrace, and we were a world-class team back then. And we used to win the scrims, but it was really, really close. I was like, okay, these guys, they have to be cheating. And that team was Robin and Forrest and Tentpole with 3 other players. And
there you go.
We all know what happened with them.
Well, that summer, you know what happened with them.
Yes.
They beat you in the WEG final.
Yeah, we lost the WEG final against Forrest just a couple of months later. Coming back to LGB, do you see a future like that for some of them or for all of them? And could this be the moment where when they're like knocking NIP off the perch or off the status as the best team? One of the examples in the past that we've seen this, I think, was CPL Summer 2004 with Eyeballers finally ending SK's reign.
Sure.
Could we be into a scenario like that?
I don't think it's of that stature. I mean, at the moment, that's getting a bit ahead. We haven't even won the series yet, guys. Let's get the series out of the way first, the big upset, then let's start like building a future.
I mean,
they have had potential in the past, okay? Like at ESWC, they came close, I think, to beating, I think it was Mystic, actually, the ones who went on to win. So obviously, they've had matches where they've played games close. Their big problem is they don't have a big enough body of work.
Yeah.
You know, I've talked about NIP playing 40 games of this, 60 games. They've played like 4 games of this, 3 of that. Our best map, we're 1 to 3 on. It's like, you need to really get a body of work before we can tell what trajectory you're going in.
It's definitely too early for the parade, setup here. They still have their work cut out for them.
We're still taking the parade, putting it in our back pocket to see what happens after this this next map. I'm being told now that we're going to go over to our casters to take the next map, which is Train, where LGB are starting as counter-terrorists. Enjoy.
Beauty.
It's getting close to midnight here in Jönköping, Sweden, here at the DreamHack Winter event for CSGO. We just watched an epic matchup there with map number 1 going there in favor of LGB Esports, 16-14 on DE Dust 2. And that brings us to map number 2 here with NIP and LGB, and it's going to be on DE Train. Of course, DE Train was the map that was selected by NIP.
Yep.
But of course, LGB gets the chance to select which side they would like to start on. And of course, sometimes it's a mental game. If you lose a matchup that close, you fight your way back. Again, the score is 11-4 in that first half.
And something to point out also is NIP are facing elimination now.
Yep.
Because they did lose the first map. So now imagine if they start on the harder side and they start losing. That's going to add all add to the pressure. I mean, we talked about the TV cameras that are on it, and they for sure do affect the game.
Yeah. Take a look at some of the posts or follow us on Twitter and everywhere that you can. Again, just trying to keep you up to date, not only what's happening here on the stream, but also what's happening through different types of images, trying to give you the whole perspective of what's happening here. And one of the things, if you don't know, TV6 is actually here following the NIP team. And sometimes you just kind of wonder, is the hype too much for a team like NIP? And I mean, they've been extremely successful, and they've played great all the way up until this point. And these past few months have been a little bit rough for NIP, and we'll see who they are and what they are all about here, especially for a tournament like at this caliber. Well, it looks like right now you've got Dennis and Exim, who started things off here. It's going to be down to a 3-on-3 here on this pistol, and Quinton is able to pick up 2 there, and now it's going to be down to Get Right. Get Right, the LMS. 40 seconds left here in the round. He's going to get headshotted there, get head dinged, and get dropped down there. As now
what a
first round
by
goes
the way,
to LGB.
Because Olaf got taken out in alley. He went for a risky push, assuming NIP wasn't going to be there and he was going to be able to clear it. NIP were there. He got taken out in a sort of a dumb way to die. And then his teammate got gooshed, got down to 11 health. And then all of a sudden, LGB just runs over. And by the way, I have direct vision to everybody on NIP, and I just saw like 3 face palms, like really sad-looking face palms as they lost that round.
We don't need another Get Right moment. As we see right now, they're going to start to head over here towards the inside. pure objective right now is getting that bomb down. That's all they care about. They don't care how they they don't care how it happens. They just want to get the bomb down. Even if they lose all 4 of the members except for the bomb carrier, you see that they basically have a train set up. And so if a player gets taken out, just a great objective so far. They do get the bomb planted here inside of the inner bomb site. It's basically at this point you just count it as a successful round.
Yeah.
Of course, Forrest still alive. And he's just playing a game of Ring Around the Rosie. He will get taken down there by the FAMAS, but they do get the bomb planted. That was just, again,
yeah.
I love what they did there. They had basically the bomb carrier going first. Traditionally, I'm completely against that idea. But with the bomb carrier going first, if he gets taken out, the bomb falls, the next player picks it up, and it just continues that train.
Yeah, exactly.
Train on train, weird.
And I mean, inner on train is by far the easiest bomb site in the entire game to get the bomb down on save round. So NIP needed that, and now they're going to be able to buy, thanks to that bomb plant, they're going to be able to get nades and armors instead of just AKs and body armors. So first weapon out of the half right here, not very good weapons on LGB.
Yeah, you've got a P90 there in the hands of Olofmeister. And you've got Crims and Whitten, who both have FAMASs here. This is a full setup strat here, but look out for Exemes. He's going to be right there on the other side. He might be able to get a flank here on Exist. And as comes back around, able to headshot there onto Forrest. And Exist just on the other side. He's able to peek right through that smoke and be able to take down Exeme. Now going to be down to a 3-on-3. You've got Crims, Olofmeister, and Whitten here for LGB. Bomb still ticking away there. They're trying to pick up these kills. They've got 3 different angles to have to worry about. Make that 2 now. And there goes, oh, look out, as now it's going to be left up to Fulflaren. And Whitten picks up that next kill, and they will get the defuse here. Just great job watching all the angles. They had 3 different points to worry about, and they eliminated all 3.
That was a very, very good retake. It was looking terrible for LGB at one point, and they just keep winning these rounds. Just playing such solid Counter-Strike. I'm really impressed with the Swedes. I really couldn't imagine NIP losing that round, and yet they just keep peeking the right places at the right exact time, and they're just playing so well right now.
But the coordination between those two, the thing is that we've seen here in the group play earlier today is we saw players chasing after kills or focusing on just one player. What we saw there, Whitten went immediately for T mid, and he allowed his teammate to worry about what was underneath T hell. And so from there, they just coordinated and they took out what they needed to at the right time. Just great execution on a retake on that outer bomb site.
By the way, even though NIP has always been a very good train team, like it's always been one of their best maps in my opinion, I still think it's somewhat risky move to play a team that has 2 pretty good oppers on the map. Because I mean,
good point.
LGB has 2 pretty solid oppers, 2 oppers that NIP, I mean, they can probably match them, but I don't think they can out-op them.
I don't know. I mean, we've watched from. I mean, right now you've got Dennis, who's oppic, which is the main opper for LGB. But what we were saw from Olofmeister earlier, he's pretty spot on whenever he had that op in hand. So right now you're going to go back around. You can see Olofmeister is going to be right there. Dennis does get a pick there onto Fulflaren. Exchange there. Exeme does get taken out. And they're going back and forth between these two. It's going to be left up. Dennis has low health, and he's grouped up there with Crims. Down to this 2-on-3. Bomb's going to get planted on the outer side.
This is a very, very tough retake for LGB, even harder.
I think they're still trying for it.
Yeah, NIP are playing it very smart, so there really should be no way for LGB to win this, because NIP just...
They don't say that, as we've said that. We've thought that time and time again, as Forrest able to take down Dennis. Now it's going to be down to this 1-on-2. Crims now knows for a fact that this round is over, and he'll go ahead and give that up to the terror side of NIP. And so NIP will pick up their first round here on the terrorist side.
And also, Forrest picked up an AWP, so that's also something to note.
Oh, wow.
And LGB, not a lot of money. They are going to be saving. I don't see how they wouldn't save. It wouldn't make sense to force buy on the CT side of train, I don't think. But we'll see what they choose to do here.
3-1 in favor of LGB Esports.
And it's going to be a save. They're getting some P250s. They don't want to give up the round.
Smart play. I mean, one of the things that I look at, too, is that especially a map like Train, you want to have your most efficient weapons. Don't try to gamble. Don't say, okay, let's just go ahead and try to buy whatever we can. Utilize the best weapons that you have possible. They have the money to actually buy, to buy an op, but the teammates would have to kind of buy just kind of erratically with P90s or FAMASs, whatever they could, and you just don't want that to happen. Make sure that you have superior weaponry to go into that next round.
Put it this way, if you're playing a map that is fairly CT, I mean, heavily CT sided, why would you take risks on half buys that could cost you even more rounds?
Exactly.
Because it might make you save more, whereas you can just save and then your odds of winning go up dramatically because all of a sudden you're a big favorite because the map favors your side.
Let's talk for a moment though too. I mean, the history tells the tale that if you save one weapon on the CT side, it doesn't mean the round's over, even if your teammates are saving. I mean, we've seen it back in the day. We'll throw it back to some old school Counter-Strike with Team 3D with Volcano, who saved an M4 and turned back around on Fnatic. But right now you've got Forrest, who's picked up 2 AK headshots. And now it's going to be left up here to Quitten. Of course, you know, I said the story. It doesn't mean it's going to actually come true here for these guys. But again, it's just always putting things into perspective of how each little thing counts.
Yeah. And I felt like Crims probably played a little too aggressive with that AK there. I mean, I understand trying to go for the kills, but it looks like Shooter might be able to save this AK after all. It's going to be Get Right coming after him. And we'll see if... No, it doesn't look like.
Yep.
Is he?
I'm not seeing any
Nope.
player. Yeah, Get Right's actually just going to hold there at that point.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give up that AK of his own. And now we're going to get a full gun round once again for both teams. Both teams also fairly even on money currently, so...
Well, we've talked about it time and time again as well there, especially on the first map on Dust 2, how LGB Esports, not only did they win the rounds, the anti-ecos that they were supposed to, but they came in their flawless victory. They didn't lose a player throughout the whole process. You got to give a shout out there to NIP. They did the exact same thing there.
The same exact thing.
So they do have all the weapons. They didn't lose anything. Basically, all they had to buy was just nades. Going to this one for Flair and starting things off. Olivermeister is going to get taken out there, as that was... I believe Flair was inside of mid. That was a mid pick, but look out for Dennis. He takes down Get Right over there towards Ivy. It's a nice little exchange between the two now. And Whitten is going to be grouped up there over there by ladder's going to be Exim. Exim is able to take down 1, 2. Dennis able to pick up another one. Now it's going to be left up to the man that started this one for Flaren. As he's going to be down to this 1-on-4. And so much time left on the round timer here.
Yeah, but he's in a very tough. He's actually in a spot where he hopes there would be less time on the clock because he wants to save this gun. Yep. He doesn't want to go for this round. And Krims has actually, as we watch with Flaren here, Krims has actually already crept up, and he might see Fifth. No, just I think he saw him. Yeah, I think he saw him. So it looks like Fifth Flaren will be. These entire T white walls are going to be swarming with counter-terrorists
without
just any second.
They know that they're trying to clear out over there towards Ivy, and if anything, like you said, if they did see him.
They saw him.
And they know for a fact that he's going to be moving over here, as he probably should have hid in that second stall. Typically, they look for 1 and 3, but they don't look for that second. Oh, I like it. Just kidding. Going to hide over there in showers right now and get shot through the wall. Just again, one of the things that you see from a lot of our pro players for CSGO at the end part, you know that the time is winding down. Let's take another look here. This is that was after the mid pick happened.
Yeah, that was a nice pick to start the round.
That was a great start.
But
there by
NIP just weren't able to use that to leverage anything out of it. They got shut down so quickly by ladder that they just couldn't make anything happen with it. Right now, NIP used up all their money to buy for this round, which once again means that if they lose this round, they will have to be on a save round. But that puts a little extra pressure on them once more. Though, to be fair, LGB also very low on money. So the loser of this round, regardless of the team, is going to have to save.
Looking at it right now. They're going to try to move over here. So far, they're set up for that B side. Dennis just on the other side. He's going to get a little shoulder peek. Perfect little smoke to fall in there. That's going to go ahead and force Dennis to have to fall back. Krims, close quarters over there right next to the Pop Dog train. Gives away his position now. He's going to go ahead and fall back there. He's able to spot one. Hasn't connected as of yet. But Flair just on their side. He's able to take him out over there with that AWP bomb. Will get planted. It's going to be down to this 4-on-3 now as Dennis picks up another one. And Dennis looking, and he falls as he almost had that shot. If there's just a little bit more ledge, he'd be able to pick up that off kill. And just like that exists, turning things back around to be left up here to Dennis. Dennis down to this 1-on-2. And so right now, as you can see, or you can probably hear, Heaton in the background, getting hyped up, trying to amplify his team to pick up a couple more rounds here on this terror side.
And those were really big double kills by both Freiburg and Exist. I mean, that's exactly what NIP needs to get back into this game. Obviously, overall, as a whole, as a team, it looks like they're having some struggles right now playing LGB. So what they need is they need their star players to chime in with those rounds where they get a couple kills, and that's exactly what they did there. That's going to force LGB on a save round.
Look at the save, the way that they're set up here. They've got three players that are playing close quarters right around the corner here. They're just trying to look for something to happen there. Flareon does get that pick inside of mid again. He was actually over there towards that ladder train. And so far, it looks like they're going to try to go for a quick rotate. Nice little nade to kind of slow things down. Exist just waiting now. Exist on the other side. Going to go ahead and challenge this one. Able to take down one. Doesn't reload. He's able to pick up another one. Trying to make that 3. And he falls down the hole to see if he gets some cover fire there. And Freiburg will be there to get the exchange. And now score as we're going to be all tied up right now.
Yep.
4-4 here with NIP. And NIP is starting to feel a little bit more comfortable and kind of catching their groove. As you can take another look on this little eco around here, this anti-eco.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is feeling good for NIP to be tied up with 4 rounds, because 4 is already like, you can already win with 4 on T side of train.
Right.
That might be enough for you as a counter-terrorist. So, I mean, pending pistol round, of course, but NIP are doing well now.
You don't want NIP to catch fire on the terrorist side. CT side, that's fine, but you don't want them to start catching on the T side.
Yeah,
so that way they
can
carry
get
that
ugly.
momentum, not only just for this map, but also for the next map to follow if we get there. So Flareon getting boosted up on top of the fence. Are going to double peek. They've got a one shoulder peek, and Dennis goes, or make that Olfmeister. Expected it to be
Really
Dennis
nice
over there.
shot.
And that was just a great shot. He was trying to shoulder peek him. Girai was trying to draw the gunfire, and Flareon was actually supposed to get that trade at least. And so now they're going to have to play this round a man down. Bomb carrier Freiburg starting to regroup with their teammates over there towards that inner bomb site. You've got Crims, who's playing pretty much close to where Flatbed used to be, or over there by the bomb train. And you've got Dennis, who's watching the upper part of the inner bomb site with that AWP in hand. Not going to see a peek there. Crims trying to cover himself over the top of that train. Going to be a quick rotate. Smoke grenades coming over the top there, trying to slow things down for Flareon, able to take down Exim. And so now they've got the bomb site. Nade's going to fall over. They're still kind of holding this area down. Exist going to start to challenge there a little bit more. And now you got Freiburg who's going to start chasing after a frag. And Quitten's going to start to push up there towards the site. He's going to be down to this 2 on, make that a, it's going to be a 1-on-2 right now. And Dennis, make that again, Olfmeister. I expect so much from Dennis, as Olfmeister is now going to be down to this 1-on-1. AWP versus AWP. Flareon decides to go ahead and utilize that Glock in hand. He's just on their side, and Flareon picks up that kill. And so not only do they pick up the round, but they release that AWP from the hands of Olafmeister.
Well, that was a very good round once again by NIP. They seem to have a lot of success attacking that inner site. Doesn't seem like LGB have a lot they can do to stop NIP from getting that entry into the site. Obviously, Crims had a chance there to get a kill or two as NIP was entering the site. He missed a couple of shots. And once NIP is swarming the site like that, it's just really, really hard to retake. And so far, I mean, from what we've seen, if NIP gets into that site, they're winning that round.
Take a look right now. We're going to see a default setup here. It's something that we don't really see on train that often, is a default setup, trying to work for any picks. But of course, they know that LGB is going to be on a save round. Again, there's 2 aspects that you also look at, is understanding your economy and also understanding your opponent's current economy. And that's some of the things that they're looking at there. That's the reason why they started playing a little bit more passive. But the bomb carrier from Flareon is out in the open. They've got the bomb down, and they also have an AK to work with and an AWP. And they're going to go ahead and start to push aggressively here. They're trying to be able to pick up another one, and now it's going to be left up to Dennis. That could have been far, far worse there for NIP, as for Flareon, the bomb carrier was taken down out in the open. They lost an AK and an AWP. But smart gameplay there by NIP to quickly challenge. If they would have delayed and allowed LGB to get set up, this could have been far, far worse. But we are still down to a 1-on-2. 30 seconds left here in the round. And see what Dennis can do here in this 1-on-2. And Dennis's backside will be taken out there by Exist. So 6-4 now in favor of NIP. As we take another look here, this is where Forrest said, no, I can't have that.
Yeah, and NIP looking very good now. I mean, 6-4 on the terrorist side of train. Even after losing pistol round, they're definitely in the driver's seat here to tie the series up and take it to the deciding map, which would be Inferno.
So we'll see how things are going to go ahead and start up. You can see this is what we see from train. A lot of set smokes and flashes, and how they're going to work this They're starting to push up there. Exist over there by ladder. They've got 4 players who are right now inside of mid. We're going to start to push up here in any moment. It's actually going to be a 3-2 split here, as the bomb carrier is going to regroup over there with Exist. Exist made a call out.